Guys, welcome on into another episode, Getting Well with Terry and Friends, MLB Trends and Betting Picks. I am Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Yes, the show is back. Received lots of people on YouTube, lots of very nice comments, people really wanting the show to continue. And the reason why I originally was going to stop is viewership has been down. Viewership has been down, especially on the YouTube channel. And if you've watched the show, you know it takes a lot of time and effort to create the nice graphics that I put on screen, um, and it just takes a lot of time. So with the viewership going down, I didn't really feel it was worth it because it takes a lot of time, a lot of my time to make the show. So I didn't really originally think that it was worth it. Um, but now I've kind of figured out a different way to go about things. So the show is going to look a lot different, which is the first way to start it off. I'll jump into the comments here. Good day to all. Hi, Tommy. Let's do this. Yes, let's do this. So things are going to look a little bit different. Today, things are going to be messy. I'm just going to throw that out there right off the bat. I'm reworking the spreadsheet to make it look better for the show. But I've mentioned the spreadsheet so often, and now I'm going to start bringing it up on the screen so I can show everybody what the spreadsheet looks like. We love the show, Terry. Thanks, Billy. Much appreciated. But yeah, I did receive a lot of nice messages and a lot of people wanting the show to continue. So I'm going to switch things up here. So we'll jump into it. Bear with me. And this is the spreadsheet right over here. Now, it's going to look a lot different tomorrow because, as I said, I'm working on completely redoing the spreadsheet. But for today, this is how it's going to look. I'm not going to go through the legend because that's changing for tomorrow. So everything's changing for tomorrow. So I'll just kind of explain here how things work. So obviously we have the team name here and each player's name. And then here in this column is over half a hit. So how many games have they got a hit? So like Willier Abreu here, 6 of his last 7 games, he has a hit. Jordan Westberg has a home run in 1 of his last 2 games. Over 1.5 bases, Gunnar Henderson, multiple bases in 5 of his last 10. RBI, Rafael Devers, 7 of his last 11. So that's how each column is, or that's how the numbers are here. This one here, average versus left-right pitcher. This is the batter's average versus the type of pitcher they're facing. So Jordan Westberg today is facing a right-handed pitcher. He's 303 against 303 average against right-handed pitchers on the season. At bats first pitcher, that is the player's record against that pitcher. So Jaron Duran, he's 2 for 3 against Cole Irvin. Westberg has not faced him before. So that's a basic rundown on the spreadsheet. Of course, as I said, it's going to look a lot different tomorrow, making it more show friendly. The first pick I have here, it is highlighted in green. Any play that's highlighted in green is a half unit play. We're going to Jordan Westberg over 1.5 bases in this game, which I got for plus 116 at Bet Rivers. Multiple bases in 2 of his last 3 games, and then over 300 average against right-handed pitchers. Cooper Criswell for the Boston Red Sox. He's giving up 2 to 3 earned runs a game, anywhere from 3 to 6 hits, pitching 3 to 5 innings. So not getting smashed by any means, but he is giving up hits. He is giving up earned runs, and Westberg is the best Oriole against right-handed pitchers. Rutschman, Henderson um, don't have very good numbers against right-handed pitchers. They hit lefties much better. So of course that's something I look at. Right and left-handed splits is something I look I look at a lot. It's your information that matters. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Um, and like I said, tomorrow the spreadsheet is going to look a lot better for tomorrow's show. So stay tuned there. Going here to the next game, and during this today's show, I'll break down each game quickly at least. Bobby Witt Jr. has been great. 9 hits, 9 games in a row with a hit, a home run in 3 of 5, multiple bases, and an RBI in 6 of his last 7 games. He's been excellent. He's got a 320 average against right-handed pitchers. Um, so again, he's been awesome. Why am I not taking him today? Because he's 3 for 19 against Joe Ryan. So 3 hits, 19 at bats. Um, I believe that's like a 198 average or something like that. So despite how well he's playing right now, he doesn't really hit Joe Ryan that well. Joe Ryan has been playing well recently. Um, so ultimately that kept me off. Was looking at Miguel Garcia, but again, doesn't hit righties nearly as well as a Witt Jr. and Perez. Why am I not taking Carlos Correa, who's been playing very well? Again, he's over 2 against Marsh and doesn't have the best average against right-handed pitchers. Anyone over a .275 average, I have their information here. So if it's not listed, that means it's below 270. So again, not good numbers there. The Blue Jays and the White Sox. I don't know what to say about the Blue Jays, except it's extremely frustrating being a fan of this team. Kind of want to switch to the Twins, to be honest with you, but they are facing Nick Mastrini here, who has got lit up. The Blue Jays just hit him when in his last start when they faced him. So they've been hitting. They hit him well in that game. The Blue Jays are playing well right now. I did look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Multiple bases in 4 or 5, 309 average against righties, 1 for 2 against Nastrini. His multiple bases prop is around minus 125, so not the best price. And I just, yes, he should definitely hit it. He should definitely hit it, but I don't trust the Blue Jays to take a player prop that's not plus money. So that ultimately kept me off because I just don't trust this Blue Jays team right now at all. So ultimately, staying off there. Isaiah Canner Falefa has been great, not very good against right-handed pitchers. So ultimately, that kept us off here. St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds. We're going with Paul Goldschmidt over 1.5 bases. 8 of his last 12 games, he's got multiple bases. He's starting to hit the ball very well recently. 3 for 5 against Lodolo with a double and a home run. So he has hit Lodolo well when he's faced him. He's hitting the ball really well right now. So we'll take Paul Goldschmidt here over 1.5 bases. I got for plus 125 at Bet365. So we'll go with him there. Spencer Steer over 1.5 bases. I almost pulled the trigger on that. Reason why I didn't, I don't like Lance Lynn. I don't like having bets against or for Lance Lynn. Coming off his last game against Baltimore, 6 innings, he gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Previous starts before that, he was giving up 5 to 8 hits, 4 earned runs, multiple walks. So I just don't know what we're going to get from Lance Lynn. So ultimately, staying off um, staying off Spencer Steer. But if you wanted to play for the Reds game, it would be Spencer Steer. Guardians and Rockies. This one's difficult because David Fry, 421 average against lefties. He has not faced Gomber before. And yes, this is in Colorado, which right off the bat makes player props very pricey. Um, Example, the Philadelphia Phillies in the last series, you had to take players minus or over 2.5 bases instead of 1.5 bases, just because it's being played in Colorado. And if there was a bad pitcher here on the mound, then I would be much more interested in looking at Cleveland props. The thing is Austin Gomber has been really good um, on this season. 1-2 with a 2.76 ERA in 10 starts. And that includes, let's see, 5 starts at home in Colorado. So a really good pitcher there that I just don't want to go against, despite these Cleveland bats hitting really well. They also smash lefties. So again, if you wanted to look at some of these players, you could, ultimately staying off that game. Washington Nationals, Atlanta Braves. You could look at Albies, you could look at Ozuna. You can't look at Acuna Jr. Because he is out for the season with an injury, with ACL injury that he sustained in the last game. That's a big loss for the Atlanta Braves, whose offense has not looked that strong this year. And now they're without Acuna for the rest of the year. So that is a big loss. Marcell Ozuna, 356 average against lefties, multiple bases in 5 of his last 9 games. Was ultimately not getting to it, but it was a lean in that game. Dodgers and Mets, um, ultimately staying off this game. You could look at Francisco Lindor, who's starting to heat up in recent games. Multiple bases, 4 of his last 5, 1 for 2 with a double against Gavin Stone. So you could potentially look at him. I didn't pull the trigger there. And then for the Dodgers, it's tough. The Dodgers bats, as you can see, Otani, 8 of his last 15 games, multiple bases, 7 he didn't. Mookie Betts, 7 of his last 13 he did, but 6 he didn't. So not really any really consistent hitters for the Dodgers right now. So ultimately staying off that game. Cubs and Brewers, right off the bat, this is an awful spot for the Cubs. It is also, we'll go back, it's an also horrible spot for the Cardinals as well. Having to play Sunday night baseball and then travel is bad enough, but having the game delayed almost 3 hours makes it even worse. So a bad spot for the Cubs. But I wasn't really looking at their props anyway. The best player against lefties is Cody Bellinger. 6 of his last 11 games, multiple bases, so not that consistent recently. We are going to take Christian Yelich over 1.5 bases, which I got for plus 150 at Bet365. Multiple bases in 8 of 14, 304 average against lefties. He's 8 for 21. Against the pitcher that he is facing here, which is Justin Steele. And then Justin Steele has got lit up in his last 3 starts. 4 innings against Pittsburgh, six hits, 6 earned runs. Faced Pittsburgh again, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. And then faced Atlanta, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. He has not played very well at all his last 3 starts. He's also given up a combined 6 home runs over his last 3 starts. So it has not been pretty at all for Justin Steele lately. We'll take Yelich over 1.5 bases to hit him around a bit. I wouldn't talk anybody off looking off William Contreras either. Multiple bases in 12 of 18, 325 average against lefties. He's 3 for 10 against Justin Steele. So you could look at Contreras as well. I'm sticking with Christian Yelich, but you could look at Contreras. I will get to the chat. I'm just going to finish off breaking down the remainder few games, and then we'll get to the chat here. Philadelphia Phillies, San Francisco Giants. The Phillies are an underdog, which is the first thing that I noticed in this game. And I'm telling you, I'm getting a team that's 38-16 on the season, the best team in baseball. Yes, they have faced a lot of bad teams, but we are 54 games through, and they're 38-16, and they're facing Blake Snell, who, if you watch the show at the beginning of the season, I mentioned Blake Snell is an extremely slow starter to the season. He did it last year, where he was just awful. Eventually, he gets it going, and then he's a Cy Young type pitcher and lights out night after night after night. But he has started season slow, and so far 0-3, 4 starts with 11.40 ERA, 4 hits, 4 runs, and 4 walks in his last start against Pittsburgh. And then he had obviously been injured for about a month before that. So it's not been great for Blake Snell. And then on the other side is Tajan Walker, who's 3-0 with a 5.06 ERA. So he's been getting hit. Um, he's been getting hit. So ultimately, don't want to um, take a side here. I really do lean with the Phillies. I really do. Looking at the player props for the Phillies, as you can see here, um, all 4 of their players that are hot right now, they all hit lefties well. So this could be a bad spot for Snell. We're going to go with JT Realmuto over 1.5 bases. He's done in 10 of his last 15 games, 382 average against lefties in the season, 4 for 15 against Snell with a double and a home run. So ultimately, we'll go with Realmuto here. And that's it for this game. Brett Wisely is someone I'm considering, but his props are not available when I checked this morning. So Brett Wisely is someone I'm looking at, and actually I should put that in pink here. So stuff in pink means I'm looking at it. Actually, let's do it here for this one. But I'm waiting for odds or waiting on something. Again, I'll go through the legend tomorrow when I get the spreadsheet looking better for the show. Final 2 games here, no plays. No plays in the final 2 games. Luis Arias has been great since coming over to the Padres. 333 average against lefties. He is a lefty himself, but he still has success against lefties. Trevor Rogers has not been good for Miami, 1-6 with a 6.11 ERA. So you could look at Luis Arias. I haven't got to it yet, at least. Manny Machado is 2 for 3 against Rogers, but doesn't hit lefties well at all this year. 3 for 5. 3 of his last 5, he has multiple bases. So you could look at Machado. I didn't end up getting to it. And then the final game here, Houston and Seattle. The Houston players don't have much success against Miller, but when they do, it's a home run. Mauricio Dubon, 1 for 7, but a home run. Kyle Tucker, 1 for 5 with the home run. Jordan Alvarez, 2 for 9 with the home run. So not much success against him. When they do, they go yard, though. And then Seattle Mariners players, nobody's consistent enough for me to take them. I do like Julio Rodriguez, who's a home run in back-to-back games. He's 3 for 16 against Valdez. So ultimately, not enough for me to pull the trigger. But we'll jump into the chat. What's up, Terry? Hey, Lynn. Lane, how's it going? The bullpen of the Blue Jays and White Sox are atrocious. Tommy Pham has really helped the White Sox. I agree. I agree. Um, Lines for games in Colorado are juiced based on reputation versus today's changes and reality. All right. Yeah, the lines for Colorado games are just overpriced. So glad you're back. Thanks, Terry. I know people wanted the show back. I think I'm playing Celtics money line, Dodgers money line. Time to buy the Dodgers low after their little slump. Hey, if you've been fading the Mets recently, you've been doing well. I've been fading the Mets recently, doing well. Not so much in their comeback win that they just did against the Giants, but I don't trust the Dodgers right now. I don't. This is the best line for the Brew Crew. Yeah, not a good spot at all for um, the Cubs. Not at all. Snell not only has been slow, he hasn't recovered from shoulder injury. Yeah. So what are we going to get from him? Nothing good. I don't expect anything good. So I should probably pull the trigger on the Phillies. I probably should. But that is today's show. Premium plays over at Picks and Parlays are available in the description below at picksandparlays.net. You can get my premium plays. I have 3 premium plays up on the site, 2 MLB, 1 NHL. Don't buy the NHL because I'm going to give it to you. Right now, we're going with the Stars. Um, Obviously, if you've watched the NHL show, you know how I am on the Stars. Obviously, I have them to win the Stanley Cup. I have them to win the Western Conference. And then they went down. When they went down after game one, I took them plus 165 to win the series against the Edmonton Oilers. Dallas 5-1 on the road in the playoffs this year. So they've been an excellent regular season road team, and they've carried that over here in the playoffs. We're getting Dallas Stars as a dog tonight. So they are one of my premium plays over on the site. If you want either of my MLB premium plays, they're over on the site. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you do like the show, make sure to give it a like on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. As I said earlier on the show, I know today's spreadsheet was kind of messy. It wasn't prepared for the show. It was just prepared for the spreadsheet how it was. But tune into tomorrow's show. It'll look a lot better as I'm updating the graphics. Probably going to be spending the rest of the day doing that after the show is done. So thank you everyone for watching. Only 4 plays today. I will recap them quickly. Go here. Jordan Westberg over 1.5 bases plus 116. That game starting in about 10 minutes for the Baltimore Orioles. Paul Goldschmidt over 1.5 bases plus 125 in the St. Louis Cincinnati game. Christian Yelich over 1.5 bases plus 150 in the Cubs and Brewers game. And JT Realmuto over 1.5 bases plus 135 in the Phillies and Giants game. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you guys on tomorrow's show. Thanks, guys.